Hello and welcome to another Budget and Leggit video. Now what we're going to show you today is how to get into your car if this is a Volkswagen Golf, if your door isn't opening from the inside or the outside. Now as you can see, the lock actually works properly, so the lock does actually work, but we have basically it won't open. Now another thing to do is, if you want to get your windows down without going in your car, keep the ignition or keep the windows fully turned as a closed position and your windows will go down. Now someone's been at this, as you can see. Also the lock is popped. It doesn't open from here. This should be put into the handle, but it's not. But as you can see, you can hear it, but it's not moving. What actually happens is there's a little lead in here, or a little wire that has to be fully pushed forward for actually to open. What can happen is, you can see in here, these can actually stretch, these cables can actually stretch, and if that doesn't do the full motion, it won't release the lock. So what we need to do is we need to pop the little cover off here first. Let me pop this cover off and I'll show you. Right, so all we need to do is take this off, unclip it, and you'll see the little arm in here. What we have to do is pick this out. I'm doing it with a knife because that's all I've got on me at the minute, but it's normally easier with a little pick, something sharp to get in there. Let me get something a bit sharper. Right, hopefully this will get in now. And what we want to do is release that all the way, push that all the way back. Now unfortunately that didn't work. It normally does, because the lock has to kind of reset, or the mechanism has to go all the way back for kind of reset. It didn't work. I also tried the method of getting a piece of wire, putting a little hook into it to try and push it all the way through that hole, and then turn it to pull the lock mechanism back. That didn't work either. So there's a couple of options we've got. We can try and get this door card off, which is going to be very difficult. Someone's already been at it before, and we can possibly damage it. Or, this might seem a bit extreme, but it's not too bad, is take off the passenger's door and get to the mechanism to take the lock off, and then I should hope be able to get my hand in and actually release the lock. But I think this lock is broken in a weird place, and it's not kind of stuck, it's more broken. So the method I was using is only kind of really good if the lock is kind of stuck, not physically broken. So yeah, I'm just going to debate what to do now. Right, I'm going to try this again, because what I actually managed to do, because this was already taken off, I managed to take the rubber moulding off, and I can actually kind of see what I'm doing now. But I don't think this is going to work, because I think this lock is completely broken rather than just like adjusted wrong or went out of adjustment. So let me see if I can get the camera down here and I'll show you the arm I'm trying to move. Right, if you can see exactly where the metal rod is, just below that, oh, let the camera focus. Now, just below that you can see like a copper kind of goldy coloured thing. If the camera wants to focus, come on, focus, there you go. And that's what I'm trying to move forward. So I'm not going to be able to film this because you can see I can't even get the camera in. I'm just going to hook that and pull the hook to move that lever fully forward and hopefully release this lock. If not, it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be an absolute nightmare. Unfortunately, that's just not going to work. I don't know if the camera's going to get in there. That screwdriver, you can just see the gold, there we go. You can just see the gold kind of, or the brass kind of colour. Focus. It's not going to focus now. It's not going to focus now, but believe me, that's pushed all the way forward and this door still will not open. So this lock, unfortunately, there you go, you can see it now. This lock has failed in a completely different way, unfortunately, which is now a nightmare to try and get this off without causing a lot of damage. Now we've managed to get the door card off. We have broke the clips on the door card, but they're easily replaced, just the little plastic clips. we haven't damaged the door card, which is the most important thing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take out the window, and that's very simple. Just line up the window with these cutouts here, take out the glass, and then we can actually take off the window reg and the motors and the speakers and everything, and we should be able to see the lock a lot easier and see exactly what we can do with it. Right, this really is putting up a fight. I cannot get this off. I don't want to start drilling out all them pot rivets just to try and get this off, and it's just a nightmare. I've taken out the glass, and you can see that kind of goldy rusty colour arm there. That's what I was talking about in the beginning of the video, and that all you should really have to do is push that all the way forward. But this is obviously broken in such a way where it's just not releasing it, so I really don't know what I'm going to do yet. I might have to start getting my air hammer down there and just try and smash this completely out of the way enough until it releases the clasp on the door. The lock's obviously gone anyway, so we're not worried about the lock. I just don't want to do any damage to anything else, like the door or anything like that. That's the only thing I can think of doing at the minute. Right, people, success! What I did was I bent the kind of rusty bracket out the way, as you can see, and just, let me get a screwdriver, just here, you can see I broke this plastic housing with that and a hammer, and then whatever was broken in there, literally, when I bent that out the way, when I bent that out the way and broke that and pushed that down, the door opened. So I can now change this lock. Oh, someone's been at it, look. I can now change this lock and we're good to go. But the door is now open. Not the way I would normally like to do it, but yeah, whatever was broken in that lock, it was broken in a way that the trick that I showed you in the beginning, unfortunately, didn't work. But it doesn't matter. The door is open. Lovely. Right, what I've actually done by damaging that is I've actually broke the latching mechanism, which is good. It doesn't matter, because obviously the door flew open, which is what we wanted. I've done no damage to anything that wasn't damaged. We've damaged the clips on the bottom of the door, but we can replace them quite easy. So that's the only thing we've really damaged. Someone's been at this here, but anyway, that wasn't us. And it would have been so handy to remove that lock, but obviously I couldn't get to it. I was thinking about taking the door off, because the reason why I was thinking about taking the door off, if I took the door off, the rear door, which is easy to do, it means I could have got to this, taken out that, and I would have been able to got to the inside of the lock a little bit easier, but not necessarily still did what I did. I think taking the window out and taking the door card off was still the answer. So we're going to remove this lock now and get another one. Right, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take that out there, which will allow me to actually take the door lock off. Now, just hold that there, Sean, like that. T15, I'm going to hold the door handle out, even though the thing is now gone. Be very careful, you don't want to screw this all the way out, because it shouldn't screw all the way out unless they've actually broken the little clip behind it. But just screw it out, keep checking to see if the lock will come out, and once you get it out, right, you'll know, because this will just slip out. Right, so now, boom. That's what I wanted to try and get out first, to get actually in down there. It might have made my life a little bit easier, but I couldn't, but it doesn't matter. We now got this off, we'll take the lock off and we'll get the new one in. Right, the two M8 splines to actually take off the lock. And there we go. Right, that's the bit that I broke, and that's the bit that I broke there. That, I didn't really need to break that out, but this bit is what really helped me, whatever I did in there. But you can just see how rusty. Something's obviously majorly happened in there, because it wouldn't release like it should have released the first way on the first part of it. But just look how rusty that is. It's completely and utterly shot. But we got it out after a bit of a fight. Right, so as you can see, we've got a complete new, well, second hand, but new to the car, complete replacement lock. So we're going to install this and hope for the best. Right, I got the new clips that I broke, so I only broke a few of these clips. We didn't do any other damage, and these are kind of, you know, you can afford to break these. Well, you even break these taking the door panel off normally sometimes. So the fact that we only broke them is not really a big deal. Let's get it all back together. Right now, I've got it all back together. Woohoo! Sorted. Right, does it lock by the key? The button goes down. It locks. It opens. Let me just see if it opens from the inside. So I'm just going to do a little trick here. Put the windows down. Boom. 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 And there we go. It is done. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, them two little tricks normally work. This lock is obviously completely gone in another direction. I don't know what's happened, but I had to essentially crack it open just for it to work. But that two tricks normally does work, to be fair. But that's it. So look, hope it helps. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Don't forget, links up here, links down below. And most importantly, don't forget, get your hands dirty. See you for the next one. Sorted. Also, the really good thing is, all we really damaged is a couple of them clips, which we got replacements when we got the lock. So it wasn't really a big deal. We didn't do any damage to the door card, apart from the damage that was already done to it. Didn't do any damage to the door, the locks, absolutely nothing. It was just, took a very long time to get the door open just for a simple little problem of a door lock. But it's now done. That door card isn't great either. But that was already like that. So, sorted.